Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setup for today. So we've had some pretty good results come out from the banks, but pretty much nothing going on yesterday. We were all over the place. Smaller trends are down, and it does look like we have got a potential crossover to the downside. But if you look at the history of this over the last couple of months, it's been sort of just above the moving averages, below, above, below. So it's kind of ranging at the moment. Does look like a bit of a flag forming right now. There's nothing really clear in the long-term trend. The short-term trends are relatively clear, and that is to the downside right now. So for me at the moment, it's kind of you still want to, if you want to short this, you want to short off structure. We didn't get an opportunity to short off structure yesterday, which is a bit of a bummer because there was a move there to the downside. But you've got to be able to stick to your rules and make sure that you short or structure. So this was the structure we had, which was 35,646. You could have added another one in over here because there's your next fractional to the downside. But that didn't really materialize. You can see we were moving to the upside. You're looking for rejection of this. You're in a clear downtrend. Oscillators grouping to the upside, but then it was pretty rapid and all over the place before moving. And often when this happens below the level, don't try and very rarely try and jump in. It's something like that. I wait for that structure, because if we don't get the structure, then it's often it just comes back and gets the structure and often just stresses you out because of the position you've taken. So you'll see what I mean here. You can see as the market opened here, you've got down, up, nothing that tells you there. Then you've got the buyers coming in here, and all indications are that it's going to move to the upside. Bit of a green bar. So you would have found a lot of people, when they're seeing that kind of view, they're jumping in early, anticipating the move, and then got taken out. So yeah, I think you've got to wait for that structure. It's critical, otherwise you're just going to stress yourself out. So what is the next step? So the trend is down. Obviously, now you have two breaks at the moment. Let me just put them in. So first one is this area here at 35,263, and the second one is here at 35,154. So what you do have is a potential for another leg down, and you're looking for a retest of 35,263 or a retest of 35,154. Your problem is your stop is the high of yesterday, and that's 400, 300 odd points away. So your position size is going to be very, very small. Then where would you be aiming for? And this is where it starts getting a little bit, sorry, let me just get that level in. You can see the structure here at this area here. So this is where it starts getting a little bit too close for comfort for my liking. So there is a fairly strong bit of structure here at 34,950, 3500, and look at the grouping of the oscillators on the 8 hour as well. So you definitely don't want to be shorting down here, and if you are shorting, you want to be shorting off the top here to the downside. The other thing that I would be a little bit worried about at the moment, or am a little bit worried about, okay, so there's two things here. So the first thing is, if I can just get the right lines. Okay, so not that clear, but you can see trend. That was the first trend line. Then we drop, come back, and we start forming a steeper trend line to the downside. So often that happens, and then you find price coming up in this area and then forming another steeper one. But that's also an indication parabolic. That starts going parabolic, which is often an early warning sign that we have a bottom coming in the current trend, or if it's moving to the top, and obviously a top. But it does indicate that there's a potential trend reversal happening soon. So you've got to be really, really careful. And what you're looking for is well-structured trades. And I'm just going to give you another bit of advice here. So you're looking for well-structured trades, and you're looking for small risk and reasonable reward to the downside. So at the moment, I don't see that. At the moment, if you look at this trend line, this was the first two fractals of the downtrend. You can see that one and that one. So if you draw a trend line on that, you'll see we retested it there, we try to break through it, we retested it there, and are we going to retest it again? Now I can extend that all the way down like that, and you'll see that often happens as well. We've got a break of that original trend, and then we just trend down until eventually the retest is successful and we start moving. So there's another warning sign that you could be at the bottom. And then the last one is that you've got diversions here. Okay, so the trend on the hour is down, the daily trend is down. So from a day trading perspective, you're looking for opportunities to move to the downside, but you want to minimize your risk. And for me, the risk is too much. So watch these levels. I think I'm more on the line of watching 3,500 and possibly 34,600 to see if we're going to start building a base off that. But moving averages quite far apart. The trend is pretty clear to the downside at the moment. So the only thing that concerns me is all the little warning bells that we have a potential reversal in our sights. It could be in a day or two's time. It could also be today. So that just prefer to be trading much higher up if I'm shorting with a stop loss that is more in line with my risk profile at the moment. 400 points is not in line with my risk profile. Anyway, so I'm sitting on hands on this. We'll wait for a little bit better structure here. Anyway, hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.